Morning, everybody. Welcome to my channel. It is 8:25 a.m. It is February 11th. February 11th. Yesterday was a little bit of a range day. Internals were mixed, hence we had a mixed day. We basically swept the lows, pushed up, swept the highs, and then broke the low day. I had a nice long yesterday, and then I was done for today. Okay. Today we have non-farm payrolls. Okay. Unemployment data today. Very important news data. Now give me a second here. Why am I seeing? Hold on a sec. Let me just refresh my day. Okay. So that's what we have coming out in about 4 minutes. Okay. Unemployment, we're expecting 4.4. Previous was 4.4. Non-farm payrolls, we're expecting 70,000 jobs added. Previous was 50. Okay. Then we have some Fed speak. Okay. That's about it. Okay. That is what's going on in our markets. Now, I'll just do my little introduction and then we'll get right into the news data. Welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and bond profile to find structure in the markets. Along supply and demand, gamma exposed levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. That is my edge. That's how I come up with game plans. Also use market internals, anchored VWAPs, my weekly expected move indicator I give for free on my Discord, and some ICT. Okay, that's what I bring to you. Alright, now every morning I do this live stream. Hopefully you subscribe, set that alert. I give you the latest news, the economic calendar, the leaders and laggards, the news, just what's going on in the markets, technical analysis, and I give you the long and short trade scenarios in the NASDAQ and the ES futures. I am pretty dead on accurate with those scenarios. Alright? If you want more in-depth coverage, and I really encourage you to do it, you're going to join my Discord. That's Confluence Trading. Go to my YouTube homepage, click on the link and sign up. What are you waiting for? Let me be your indicator. I am making improvements to my Discord to give you news, to give you a morning prep, expected moves, okay, gamma levels, or gamma flip points, okay. I'm giving them out for free. And of course, my commentary during the day. I usually go live around 9:50 a.m. Come join me. Okay. So we got news coming out in a minute and a half. Let's just see where we stand here because this probably will change. Silver's leading the pack today, up 6.5%. Crude is up 2.36%. Gold up 1.57. 30-year bonds are being bought. Okay. Bitcoin's having trouble. All right. ES up 0.16. This is all just kind of quiet. But crude being up like that is not the best for our markets. You don't want crude going higher. That usually doesn't bode well. Now, that news is dropping in less than a minute. Okay, other notables this morning. Trying to see here. Coinbase is down 3.86%. GE Vernova, loving it. I own that, up 2.43. Probably with the Vertiv earnings, which I own that as well, is blowing it out of the water. With it's up over 16.5% this morning. Blowing it out of the water in the guidance. Palantir is down over 1.5%. Okay, those are the notables this morning. Energy is up 0.91. Semis is up over 0.5%, and the laggard is not much. It's communications. Now let's go over to the data. We're gonna watch this drop together in about 10 seconds. I didn't want to, I don't do any heavy analysis yet until these numbers drop. Here we go. Boom. Boom. Markets ripping up initially. Okay. We'll just focus on the ES for now. Let's see as news rolls in. First, we just pushed up. Let the data roll in. All right, we already broke this supply zone, which usually these things don't really last too long when you have those big news coming out. Okay, it looks like non-farm payrolls. Non-farm payrolls added 130,000 jobs, only expecting 70. That's a positive for unemployment. That is, I mean, for our labor data. Oh, so this is a quandary. Unemployment went down 0.1, and we added jobs. That would take away a Fed cut. So I would think the market is not going to like that as much because it makes it that the Fed is not going to see the labor market deteriorating. It's actually improving. Again, I don't get too into the weeds with the news because I got to follow what price does. Okay, so what I'm saying right here is a fact. Okay, but I don't know how the market's going to deal with it. Now, where the market is, right? Let's just look at it together. It's in this warm, snuggly bed here of the most traded price of the week, the most traded price of this year. So, to me, so far, it's indecisive. We're in this accumulation or consolidation, whatever you want to call it, base, balance, whatever. We're in the middle of it, right? I don't think the market knows how to deal with this because this probably takes some cuts off. Okay, now if unemployment went up, we didn't add as many jobs, this market would probably be much higher. But we have to follow price. Okay, doesn't matter if these numbers are jacked. Doesn't matter if you know somebody at the BLS and say, oh, doesn't matter. The market trades off of these fake numbers, even if they're fake. Okay? 30-year mortgage rate stayed the same as well this morning. Okay, so the market so far is liking it a little bit. Don't know. Sometimes you don't know if the market, good news is bad news is good news sometimes. Like I said, you just follow price. Now, to me, this looks like it's just going to clean up the sellers that just came in because we're getting some strength here. So we're going to let this roll and we're going to let this marinate because I'm not going to start knowing what I'm going to do yet until this settles in a little bit. The dust settles and we know what to do with this. Right now, we're just in the middle of consolidation. Really, there's nothing to see here. Okay? So, we're going to go back to our regularly scheduled program. And now let's go back to watch lists to see what we're looking at here now. Okay? Back to watch lists. Futures. Silver's up 4.30%. Crude up 2.19. 10-year yield is up. That is not good for mortgage rates. Up 1.30. Russell's up 1%. That is usually not how it works. So Russell's usually rate sensitive. Okay, and 10-year yield's up, and Russell's up. Okay, gold up 0.81. Nasdaq's up over 0.5%. ES up 0.5%. Dollar is up 0.44. So this is all kind of weird. Dollar up, gold and silver up. That's generally they're inverse correlated. All right, the Dow is up 0.44. 30-year bonds are being sold right now. That's why the yields are going higher. Bitcoin is just fighting for its life. Down 2%. Ethereum down 2.45. The VIX is down 3.77%. We're at a 17 VIX. I'm looking at some time and sales. I see some aggressive buyers coming in. So we'll have to see what happens here. Like I said, generally this is not where the Fed's going to get aggressive here. Moving on to the Mag 7 Plus. Let's look at that. Looked up. Wow, what a change. Nvidia's almost up 1.5%. AMD's over up 1%. Broadcom up 1%. Amazon up 0.70. So the market's liking this. Microsoft up 4.59. The lagger is Coinbase because that's a Bitcoin proxy. Moving on. Top sectors. GEV Vernova. I'm in love with my GEV Vernova. I am in love with it. I wish I had more of it. I did trim some before earnings last week. I have an unbelievable price at like I think I have it at 268 or 286, one of those, and it's at $815 a share right now. That is ridiculous. That is unbelievable. I just wish I had more of it. But that's the trader, what you always want, right? When you're investing in something. Oracle is up 2.35%. Caterpillar up 1.70. The mining stock, NEM, up 1.1.5%. Chevron and Exxon up as well. Now, who's lagging today? Who's lagging today? PepsiCo, that makes sense. So healthcare, United Healthcare can't get out of its own way. PepsiCo just had a nice run, so people might want to take a little money out of their staples. Palantir was down more. Now it's only down a little bit. Disney's down a little bit. Okay, let's go into the granular list here. Let's see what's moving here. There's my Vertiv. Woo, woo. Remember, they do like heating and cooling and stuff like that. Ooh, power supply for data centers. I have an entry on that thing about like 60 or 55, one of those. Again, wish I had more. They're up almost 20%. They're at 238. They're at 238. I own it at like 60. My lord. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Loving it. All right, net. I believe that's Cloudflare. I could be wrong. Up 13.90%. Shopify up 10.80%. ASTS, the space stock, up 6%. Silver up 4%. We know that. AstraZeneca. All right, Micron is up. Now, laggard. Yeah, how much? Laggard. Wow. Unity Software down almost 28%. Boy, they got slaughtered. Lyft reported earnings. They are down 15.5%. Hood. Hood is what I've been wanting to look and go into. I did not go into it when it was down to $70. I wanted to, but they are down almost 10% after their earnings. They missed their revenue numbers. I still am interested in. I don't like that they're tied to Bitcoin as much. I just don't like it. That's not their whole business, Bitcoin. I just don't like how it's tied. Humana Healthcare down 6.5%. T-Mobile down 5%. So that's what you got going on, folks. I'm liking some of my holdings, boy. Vertiv and GE Vernovo. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. Unbelievable. Sectors. We have a risk on market, folks. Risk on market. Semis are up 1.06%. Energy, that's the canary in the coal mine. You do not want energy flying. Doesn't mean that energy doesn't move markets, folks. It's under 3%. All right. My daughter, we have this citrus spray in our bathroom that you're literally supposed to put like a spritz to, get away the bad smells. I think she just friggin' sprayed it like it was spray paint everywhere. I can barely breathe right now. Um, Unbelievable. All right, so let's look at this. Like I said, now if I'm looking at the charts, we're in the middle of that warm, snuggly bed. Semis are up. This could change. Like I said, staples down. But this looks positive right now. Okay, right now it looks positive. Moving on. Let's look at some market news, and I can't even speak. Well, we know we just had the data. We know about that. Vertiv, that's the smash that Vertiv did. Unbelievable. Okay. Expected moves. We're kind of like the only one right now that hit expected move to the upside yesterday is Microsoft. Microsoft hit its expected move to the upside yesterday. That would tell me, hey, probably hold off on a Microsoft long. Hold off on a Microsoft long. That's what the expected move does. Here's the expected move. I share it every Monday morning. All right, right here. Grab it, put it on your Thinkorswim. Do yourself a favor. Gives you the expected range for the week, and this is a guaranteed 70% probability that those stocks will stay inside that expected range. Okay? Do yourself a favor, sign up in my Discord, get it for free. All right? Get it for free. Yeah, leaving me in this toxic environment. God, I'm telling you right now, I need a freaking hazmat suit on right now. That's spray. All right. We went over already the economic calendar. We know what that looks like. We don't need to do that again, right? Let's go over the juice here. The juice. Okay. Now, Trump today. We got Fed Schmidt at 10. Fed Bowman at 10:15. Trump meets Netanyahu at 11 a.m. I hope I'm done with a trade by then. Hope I'm done. Don't know. Okay? Don't know. Now let's see what this why crude's flying. Maybe let's see. Ukraine's President Zelensky. The deal on territory is the focus of the next talks of the U.S. gold and oil weakened. That's wrong. Gold and oil is not weakened. So I don't know what that's about. All right, let's move on. Let's see here. Let's see some because Ford reported some earnings. My little AI agent was a little off this morning, so I had to give him a stern talk. He did great yesterday. All right, let's talk about it. Robinhood slid in pre-market trade, reported earnings that disappointed investors. Lyft shares tumbled after ride-hailing company posted earnings that failed to meet expectations. Ford reported quarterly results that missed Wall Street's forecasts. Okay, Cloudflare surged on better than anticipated fourth quarter earnings. That's that ticker NET. Vertiv spiked following first quarter adjusted earnings. Great. All right, more news. All right, we know about Humana offers downbeat 2026 forecast as lower quality ratings weigh. Let's see here. Let's just read this. U.S. stocks index futures were subdued as investors awaited crucial jobs data delayed by a partial government shutdown while keeping a close watch on corporate earnings. The jobs report is expected to show a modest. We already know about the jobs report. So let's see here. Here it is. Commodities. Oil prices rose, supported by escalating risk as U.S.-Iran talks remained tenuous, while draws of crude from key stockpiles suggested stronger demand. Okay. I am not going to mention or repeat stuff that I already talked about. Interested in Hood. I'm interested in Hood. It is on sale. The Bitcoin thing, no. See, I'm interested in two. Netflix is that okay? Nice haircut, but Netflix has the Warner Brothers thing with the government getting involved, there being a monopoly, which is not like something. I don't know what's going to go on with that. And then Hood with the Bitcoin weakness. I just don't like that it's tied. The company's not a bad company, but it gets tied to Bitcoin. It's not that. I just don't like that. But I definitely think this is at a definite deal. Okay. Now, like I said, as I'm looking at the hourly chart, the market doesn't know what to do with these numbers. Right? We're in the warm, snuggly bed of the most traded price of this year. The market does not know what to do with these numbers. Okay? You know what it's time for. My bread and butter. Market internals. Kept me right where I should be yesterday. In the pocket, waiting like a sniper. Waiting my shot. Okay? Took a long. Had a 2-to-1 return. Okay? That's not a complaint. All right, that's not a complaint. I thought I was going to get more. I think my target was an 11, close to 12-point winner, but I knew that it might not happen. So where did I get long? This is the SPX. Doesn't matter. Same price action. I got long right about here, and then I rode it all the way up to here. And then I was like, all right, I choked up my stop, and I was like, all right, let me lock in a 2-to-1. it gave me more than that at one point. I was looking for this high. I think this one up here. It eventually hit it, but after a pullback. But I was out. All right, pretty simple. Now, internally, we were just a mixed bag yesterday. Tech was actually relatively weak yesterday, but then you had some strength, consumer discretionary, and communications. All right, the Valdez were very benign. Everything was benign. You could see the equal weight was stronger than the market cap. So overall market was not weak. Market cap with the net tech being weak, financials being weak, was the driver in healthcare. Okay, so mixed market. So in this type of environment, you can long or short. All right, now we'll get over in the hourly chart what happened yesterday, because there was a sweep to the downside which pushed the markets up. Then there was a sweep to the upside which pushed the markets down. Moving on. Get to those daily charts. This market's trying to resolve what it wants to do, and we're going to keep going on here with the dailies. So when you're in this environment, I keep saying this, we're in the middle of muck. Okay, we're in the middle of muck. We're like trying to walk in a swamp, because the market is so all over the place. It's schizophrenic. It has multiple personalities. All right, we just had a couple days. Now remember, I was saying this in my community when I was live to one of my community members. I was telling him, hey, we just went up 3 days. Probably have to take a back. Probably going to be a day of profit taking a little bit, and it happened yesterday. Okay, we opened here, made a new high, and then we pulled back into the middle of the range of the previous day. Nothing to see here. All right, nothing to see here. Where are we now? We are at 695.80, 695.80. That brings us to the upper third of yesterday. So we're back at the upper third yesterday with these employment numbers. I don't trust at all what the market's doing right now, because I don't think it knows what it wants to do yet. Here's futures. Look, you have a swing high here, not confirmed yet. Okay, not confirmed yet, but we swept this low. My anticipation right here would be we're going to at least tag 7,007 about. All right, that would be my anticipation for right now. We swept the lows, pushing up, hit the 20-day moving average, anchor view up for this year. Okay, let's see what happens. Qs. Here's our Qs. Now the Qs are not the best shape. Remember, they're relatively weak. All right, relatively weak. So they are battling, right? The 100-day moving average closed back under it. You took out the prior day's highs, went back to 50% of the day before. This black line is last week's close. We're barely positive. Now, where are we now? 615.63. 615.63. We are at the highs of yesterday. We're close to the highs of yesterday. Let's look at futures. Futures. Okay. Look at that. So you got a high here, and now we got another day. We're balancing. We're balancing. Underneath the 100-day, underneath the 20-day, underneath the 50-day, underneath the anchor VWAP for the year. This has a lot of work to do. This is not going to be easy to just power through it. It's not how it works. Remember that software weakness, weak in the tech market. Okay? Now let's look at that breath. Let's smell that breath. Is it smelling good? It's just going nowhere. Again, 68% of the stock market, 500 stocks, 69% of them are over their 50-day moving average. That is not a generally weak number. That is not a generally weak number. Okay? Give me 1 second here, folks. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Back. Okay? That's our breath. Let's move on to the hourlies now. All right, let's see if this market's showing its hand a little bit. One hour charts. Let's do it. Let's do it, folks. We're right at an equal high right here. Well, no, not really an equal high, but let's get rid of this supply zone. It already got taken out. Okay, so this is not a ton to analyze here. It's very simple. Very simple, folks. I'm just waiting for my marker to come up. Oh, here we go. All right, so let's look at it together. Now, yes, the day before, look, we're just accumulating. That's all we're doing. Nothing to see here. Okay. Yes, we did come down. Yes, this is a pretty nice bar, but we're right, right at the most traded price of the year, 69.90. This is not telling me anything yet. Okay. Now, I can get rid of this. Okay, we just hit this first swing high. I would look at yesterday's high. Would it be the next liquid level? Like I said, about 7,007. I think it probably might tap that. I don't know. I really don't. Now, important levels to note here. Look at the month-to-date anchor VWAP. It's flat, right? Flat. That tells us a lot. Look at the week-to-date anchor VWAP. It's kind of flat, right? You don't need to look at that because you can look at price action. But if there's anything that assists you, why not have it? Now remember, I have the daily candle here to the right and the 4-hour here. The 4-hour is much more bullish, right? Basically an almost open drive in the last 4 hours. So we'll see. We have supply that we tapped yesterday that caused selling. All right. Now, I talked about this yesterday. If we zoom out here, NASDAQ needs to now break that high. Okay? And what it did yesterday, it kind of cleaned up this poor structure up here. And this is just a major supply zone. This is the ES. I'm sorry. Did I say NASDAQ? So this is ES. Okay? So, this is a very interesting part to be in the chart. Okay? Needs to take this out and try to resolve. Maybe do this to go back to all-time highs. We have a new battle zone. This is that 69.90, the most traded price of the week, the most traded price of this year. Okay, so we need to resolve this area. I don't know what happens today. If we do this, come back under this, we're going to roll. We take out that swing low, we're going to roll farther, and then it's real poor structure here. This could really roll and not be good for markets. All right, or we push up, like I said, make a new swing high here, and then it's off to the races to new all-time highs. Okay, last week's highs is 7,027. Maybe we do it, maybe we don't. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with. I think the market doesn't know what to do with these numbers. They're not great for cuts, future cuts. Okay, but if you just look at the market, okay, this was the high yesterday. We pulled all the way back, came up, retested, came down again, swept liquidity. Now the next move is up. It's probably going to hit yesterday's highs and then into supply. And then if we get problems, we could now being a balance area. That's what we're starting here. Okay, balance. Maybe we just do this today. Whoop, come back down, come back up. I don't know. Whoop, some aggressive buyers just came in. I saw on my time and sales. And you can hear it. All right, let's move on to the NASDAQ. Boom. Okay. NASDAQ time. All right, NASDAQ, NASDAQ, NASDAQ. This is the one that really needs to do some work here. Okay. So, what do we have here? Same deal. We're accumulating, right? Right into a major supply. That has been giving us problems. Okay. But you can see this is a pretty bullish bar. So let's get rid of some of these supply zones because they don't matter anymore in some of these liquid levels. Right? That doesn't matter. This doesn't really matter. Ooh, let me get that out of the way. That. Ooh. Okay. So, there's an equal low here. Let's put that on there. Okay. So, what do we have here in major supply? But like I said yesterday, this is all we need to know. Our new battle zone becomes 254s. 254s is the most traded price of the week, the most traded price of yesterday. Right here. That's the battle zone. Okay? And this supply. So you need this to be a secure swing low to keep this uptrend going. So we need to take out yesterday's highs, take out this supply, and then even if we pull back to here, all good. We can move up. And what's really, key is this is your most traded price of the month. Look to the left. There is clear sailing if you get a strong market to just rip all the way up to about 259, the most traded price of the rolling year. Now, if that does not happen, let's say we do this. See, the market's liking this now. The market's strengthening up here. You really need to take out this supply, okay? And there's a couple swing highs, liquid highs above here around the 255.11s. You need to take that out. If you do this, right, and you hold this swing low, that's bullish. But if you sweep, come back inside this range, okay, now you could take out this candle and really start to cook. Take out that swing low, then you'll have a market structure shift, and then the market could fall apart. So that's why I said the 254s is a battle zone. 254s is a battle zone. Now, look at the 4-hour open drive. Open the last 4 hours and it's cruising up. Daily had the little wick. So, you don't say this is weak, but it's got to prove itself. It's got to prove itself. Okay, moving on. Moving on to market profile, volume profile. Oops, sorry. Let's see here. And we'll go to that screen. Okay. All right, let's make this bigger for you guys so we can see some levels that we need to see. This is your market profile and volume profile. It's beautiful because it breaks out the overnight session versus the real-time trading hour session. It's just so nice to look at. Okay? So, we are at yesterday's highs already. So that, remember I told you that's probably where we're going to hit? Yeah. We didn't hit it quite yet, but we're about to. All right? Got a bounce profile in the overnight. Okay? We already went over this just before, right? Heavy supply above. Last week's high is 7,027. We pretty much equal the overnight and the real-time trading hours yesterday are pretty much equivalent. Now, this could be classic balance, okay? Or because you're in a major supply. This could be, you see this a lot, okay? Like I just said, you could take this out and then go like this. Whoop, 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 and then go like this. And then you start to have a bounce, and then nobody knows when the breakout's going to happen. Okay? So let's split this out because we talked about levels earlier. That's the price action. Okay? That is our price action. And in the ES, okay, we have our levels, right? So we have our most traded price, the 69.90s, the green bar, most traded price of this year. We have the most traded price of the rolling year in the month. That is your 69.45s. If we take these out and hold, that is bullish structure. People are agreeing upon this price, and when you're finding acceptance over them, that is bullish structure. Okay? So what would I look for now? And we're going to get right into scenarios. We're not going to waste time. Right here. We're not going to waste time. We're going to go right into a long scenario because they are in control. Okay? Look, we already hit now the high. Great. Okay? What am I going to look for now? You have some single prints here. You have a bullish fair value gap right in here. You have the most traded price, 69.90. Okay, so what generally I'm going to look for here, if the market opens up, it could push up. But I'm hoping for some swift move back to 69.90. even if it goes down here, that would be your bullish 30-minute fair value gap. And does this, takes it out, boom, that's a long. You then target 7,027s. This will not be easy unless we go a little higher, then pull back, then it will be easier. Okay? That will be easier. Now, okay, that is optimal. Now, if we become in balance and we get this, whoop, and we take out the overnight lows and yesterday's lows, and then we come down and you get a little bear trap here and go, whoop, V recovery, boop, we're in balance. Okay? Now, shorts. Like I said, I don't know ever what's going to happen. I am not some stupid fake furu that tells you I predict things, I win 100% of my trades. Okay? Nobody knows anything of what's going to happen. They're a snake oil salesman. Now, I could tell you in probabilities and say, hey, this is what should happen, but I don't know if it will. Right? Try to be real with you. So, we're in supply. Remember, I said this can be turned into a balance area. A balance area, which means we balance. We sell off from here. So, let me get a sweep of yesterday's highs. Let's come back into the range. Might not give you a pullback. And then all it takes is tech or something, market internals to show some weakness. We dip under 69.90. See this thin volume here goes both ways. Most likely you're going to go down and take out those overnight lows and test the 69.45s. Now, without a news catalyst or something, most likely you bounce from here. If it takes this out and you take out the 69.24s to the 21s, that is no good. But I don't know if that happens. Honestly, it's all I'm interested in. I want to see that. I'm not into shorting up in here. Now, will there be a scalp that possibly might be in my favor, possibly intraday? Of course. Moving on. NASDAQ. Not sure if my boy Randy Rand's watching. Okay. We have a very, very similar setup here. But remember, we got that poor structure above the NASDAQ. The 25511s is our level. Remember, the battle zone is your 254s. Let's break out the session of the overnight. Okay, expected move for me today when we were down here was to hit yesterday's highs. That is already checked off the box. Okay, checked off the box. That is a check. We are in a major supply zone. The 255.14, I guess, the exact level, is your level you want to see taken out. Then you can go up to the 257s and up to the 259s. Okay? But the little caveat is our jobs data that this does not favor cuts. So this could just push up and fall on our heads. 254s, you're welcome. That's the battle zone. 251 was the first battle zone. NASDAQ won, right? Bulls won the battle zone. Now it's 254. Okay? Above the 255.14s is poor structure. This market gets strong, it's going to fly up. It is going to fly. If it can't resolve 254s, the market will fall back. So, let's get into scenarios now. Scenarios to your NASDAQ. All right. Probably Randy Rand is saying, finally. Okay. Let's do it. We are going to start off with the bull side. Now, we do have a 30-minute bullish fair value gap right here. Okay? We do have the price is over our battle zone 254. But we just took out yesterday's highs. Okay? Check. Like I said, before that even happened, I said that's what the market wants. It went there. Check. Okay? Now the market's got to figure out what the hell do we do with this job data. Right? Right there. We got thin volume as well. So, what I'm looking for. Maybe we just tap out, take out yesterday's highs, and you want to look for a pullback. You are in supply right now. Okay? The more you move into supply, the more that you take care of it. You can clear it out. Now, what I would look for is your goddamn right. 254s. Right here. Your most straight up price of the week. Okay? Now maybe they want to just put a little toe in this bullish for value gap. If you hold and retest the 254s, you target. Remember, this is real-time trading hour, so I would say you target the high of day. Then it's 25514s. That would be a beautiful, beautiful trade. Now, if you're going to hold a position, and we do one of these, whoop, expect a pullback. And like I said, there is poor structure ahead, and you can go zoop right up to 257s. And why do I say that? Because you have poor structure and you have all of these shorts that have not paid the piper yet. They have not felt pain yet. And when they do, they will propel like a catapult the bulls up. All right? Notice the gap in the volume profile. Notice the vacuum right here. That supports a move up. Whoop, and to a high volume node. Now, can there be a move lower? Yes. So, in a bull case, let's say you're like, I don't know. Let's say the market's not that weak. Market drips down. Boom, boom, boom. Takes out yesterday's lows and the overnight lows. Now, there is some single prints here to the left. You find support there. And let's say that, like I said, this has to happen quickly. It can't malaise down here and the market gets weaker and weaker. Then this is off the boards. If we do this, whoop, the recovery back inside the range. There you go, your long. Okay? And we let, in my community, internals tell us the internal organs of the market. Right? That's what they're called, market internals. Because a lot of times I'm looking at the market and I'll tell my community, hey, listen, don't stare at the price action. This market is not that weak yet. Do not let price action fool you because that's its job. It's there to fool you. Okay? You're starving on an island, right? All of a sudden you see a cheeseburger, but then it's a mirage. That's price action. Okay? That is price action. Or if you're a guy, Jessica Rabbit has got her glove on and she's going, come here. And you're like, geez, Jessica Rabbit is looking really good. And then it turns out it's not Jessica Rabbit. Okay? Price action will fool you. Trust me. Price action will fool you and make a fool of you. Okay? I used to look at it that way myself. When I didn't have internals. I used to be like, oh, red. And you're just like, oh my God. Now I'm a lot of times I'm buying when it's doing that. So, now, shorties. Oh, there's still a shorty here. Okay? Remember, the jobs data. Little not great. Okay, we just swept yesterday's highs. Be careful. Now, this goes both ways. You have thin volume here. This powerful move can get taken away very quickly. So, what do I want to see? Well, maybe get some early bulls in here. Let's trap those bulls. You come up, fail. Whoop. Back into side yesterday's range. maybe a tiny pullback. Now, this is where internals, if you're in my community, we look at ticks, we look at what's driving the markets. Let's say, ooh, these markets are not that strong right now. This will be quick. You have to be careful here. It could just whoop, go right through the 254 battle zone because there's thin volume here and just go zip, take all that out. Then your next move is your yesterday's lows, and then the next move is the overnight lows. And then, like I said, this market, the way it's been, it could just do this, make you think that it's going to fall forever, and then recovers. Now, if it doesn't recover, wow, oh wow, oh wow, oh wow, maybe 246s. Because your support here is your 249, 55s to 67s. That has to hold. If that doesn't hold, whew, whew. All right. Okay. That is it, folks. Smash that like button if you enjoyed that analysis. I think I did a good job. I think I did a good job. All right. Now, maybe I'll give you a bonus today. Maybe I'll give you a bonus about my trade yesterday. Let me see if I want to do that. 1 second here. Well, we'll do that at the end. And of course, I do this every morning. Subscribe. Set that alert. Okay, give you the market news, the economic calendar, the leaders and the laggards. That's just the market story. Okay, give you technical analysis, and I just give you the long and short trade scenarios in the Nasdaq and the ES futures. I nail it every day. I nail it every day. I nail it. And I'm going to start collecting a database with my AI agent. I'm already in talks. We're already talking about a plan to what I'm gonna do. I have my AI agent scrub my transcript of my scenarios and lay them against what actually happens. And I'm gonna have a channel where it shows you my Confluence head trader. That would be me. What my analysis was versus what happened. We're gonna call it receipts. We're gonna call it some type of thing to just give you my roadmap every morning and to see, oh, that's exactly what happened. Okay? Plan to do that. Now, if you want to get the most in-depth coverage, you're going to join my Discord. It's Confluence Trading. Go to my YouTube homepage, click on the link, sign up. What are you waiting for? Now I'm giving you gamma flip levels. I'm giving you the market news. I'm giving you my expected moves, alerts. It's just going to keep getting better. Okay? Like I said, I'm in the process also of doing trade setups, hashtags, gamma. My boy loves gamma. My boy loves gamma, and you will notice they will be posted every day. Okay? I think I have it set for 9:40 a.m. The gamma monthly and weekly flip points of the SPY, the QQQ, and the SPX will be given out for free. Now remember, I have gamma levels, positive and negative, and flip points for all the tickers that move in our markets. Now Randy Rand, he needs to get with the times and have Discord on his computer so he can see my alerts, because half the time he doesn't even know when I post stuff. So, hopefully he does something there, right? Because everybody else sees alerts in my thing. I don't even know that he's aware that they come up. So, getting back to pot, let's look at that trade. Let's look at the trade from yesterday. All right, let's do it. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'll put up my Ninja Trader here. Hold on. Give me a second here, folks. Very simple trade, but just give me a sec. So I pull that up for you guys. Let's see why I entered. I'm still dying with my daughter spraying that spray. My God, I'm very sensitive with my nose. Very sensitive with my nose, and it's dying right now. My nose, dying. I don't know why NinjaTrader does this. Sometimes it just doesn't populate the window. Annoying, annoying. Don't know why that's happening right now. We're gonna move on to the top step. Oh, there it is finally. Jesus, that was annoying. Okay, that was annoying. It really was. I'm gonna show you the trade from yesterday. I think it was this one. Hold on, I'm trying to remember for you guys. It came down. I just want to give you guys. Yeah, here we go. Here we are. So I just wanted to give you guys the best view of my trade. So let me show you here. Let's get these. Okay. This is a 1 minute chart. That's my trigger chart. Okay. So let's go over it. Let's go over the trade. So real quick, I'm not going to spend a ton. That's another thing too. You notice that I haven't made a lot of trade recaps. I'm really concentrating on my process because I have a new process. So I could make trades. I've had a 27-point winner last week, a 26-pointer last week. Yesterday, because I had little risk, it was 4 point for an 8-point win. So that will be coming in the future. Okay? So this is where this day was mixed. It was anybody's game, and the Bulls have momentum. Okay? The Bulls have momentum. So, and I was explaining this live. So I was like, all right, I want to see a sweep here. We did, and we came up. So shorts had some steam, right? Pushed up, and in my theory, when they pushed up and they could not displace up here and hold this, they had one more shot. Okay? So my way I look at the markets is, okay, if I'm a short up here, oof, nailed it. We swept it, right? Then bulls had a little reprieve, and then bulls had a nice move up, right? Probably took out the rest of the shorts. Now, if people don't look at internals and stuff like that, the market was not weak. So, in this last try, I said, okay, we just took out these longs, pushed up, right? Pushed up, and this is the previous day's close, okay? Swept this liquidity. Okay, got my attention. And I said, okay. So I had, what did I got in here, like here. I got right in here. So I saw this, right? I saw this. And there was a little baby bullish fair gap right here at the close of the previous day. So I got in at around 87 or 86 and change, right about here. Easiest trade of the day at that point. Because what did I know? I know that the shorts were cooked already. And we were in balance, and the expected move was to break balance and to move up. Okay, so look at the movement in this, okay? So you had poor structure here, and you just did breakaway fair value gaps. And I was like, okay, held. And then, like I said, that would be 8 points. So around the 95 area, I put my stop here. And I did get, obviously, more. Right? I got about almost, at one point, 10 points. Right? And I was like, you know what? My target was up here. So I nailed it. Boom. And then the market just blah, blah, blah. And in my community, when I was live with my members, I said, this is not over with the selling. I said that when we came down to the area I just showed you, I said, we are not strong. The high is in. I said the most likely move, because we swept the highs, is a move to the downside. Now I locked myself out. I was done. And you can know what happened here. Boom, 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 boom. And then at the end of the day, boom, we sold off. Okay? Again, reading the market. Okay? So that's it for me, folks. All right? Hopefully you enjoyed that analysis. Okay? Like I said, I used to do videos all the time. Now I'm kind of concentrating my process. I really want to get this process, what I've been doing for 3 months, but more reps, more process, more reps, more reps. I pretty much have a system kind of. It's never going to be fully down until I'm probably done trading, but it's really getting cemented. Okay, so then I'll start doing the videos and stuff like that of my trade recaps. All right. So anyway, everybody, it's 9:20. 10 minutes to the market open. Everybody have a great day. Okay. Everybody have a great day. Everybody remember, no trades a trade. Stay green. Let's kill it. Hope I see you in my Discord. If not, I'll see you guys.